Hello and welcome to the Princess Hall Pantomime Story Time. I'm going to tell you the story of next year's pantomime, which will be Dick Whittington and his cat. The story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a poor young man called Dick Whittington. The people in his village would say that the streets of London were paved with gold. So Dick decided to leave his home and set off to find his fame and fortune. Little did people know, but the streets of London were being ravaged by a horde of rats who would steal food and cause havoc wherever they went. Their leader was the villainous King Rat, who had plans to take over the city and make it his own. After many miles of his journey, Dick sat down for a rest and quickly fell asleep. And whilst he slept, the spirit of London, Fairy Bowbells, appeared and saw that Dick had a brave and true heart and could help her defeat King Rat, but he would need help. Dick awoke from his dream to find a cat purring at his feet, and even though Dick had no food to share, the two quickly became firm friends, and Dick named his new companion Tommy the cat, and they set off for London together. Tommy was just the friend that Dick needed and had been sent by Fairy Bowbells. After walking for many, many days, Dick and Tommy arrived in London to find that the streets were not actually paved with gold and the people of London were not all that friendly. Dick and Tommy tried everything to find a job and somewhere to stay, but they had no luck. Tired and very, very hungry, they fell asleep on the steps of a grand old building. The building belonged to a rich businessman called Alderman Fitzwarren, who found Dick sleeping and gave him a job cleaning the kitchen and helping with his business, which sold and traded all manner of goods. Dick worked very hard and was happy. Alderman Fitzwarren also employed a jolly cook called Sarah, so Dick and Tommy always had enough to eat, and at night Sarah said he could sleep by the fire. Dick soon met Alice, the alderman's daughter, who was the most beautiful girl that he had ever seen. It was love at first sight, and Dick was the happiest he had ever been. There was a problem though. At night, the rats ran around the building and stole all the food and provisions. But Dick had a plan. Tommy the cat would leap into action and with an acrobatic feat of virtuosity would dispatch the rats with lightning speed. The alderman was so pleased with the work that Dick and Tommy did dealing with the rats that they were soon the talk of London. However, King Rat was not so pleased and began to devise a plan. Alderman Fitzwarren returned home one evening with an important task for Dick. He had purchased a very expensive necklace for his daughter Alice's birthday, and Dick was to guard the safe through the night where the necklace was to be kept. Dick promised that he would watch over the safe, and with that, the alderman wished him good night and went off to bed. As the hours ticked by, Dick became more and more sleepy. With each passing hour, his eyes got heavier and heavier, until finally, without realizing, he was sound asleep. In the still of the night, with all the house sleeping, King Rat crept in. He cracked open the safe and took the necklace, but instead of stealing it for himself, he did the most wicked thing and placed it in Dick's pocket. The morning soon came, and Dick awoke to the cries of Sarah the cook. The building had been robbed, the safe was open, and the stores were a mess. The alderman sobbed that his business had been ruined, and his gift for Alice had been stolen. Sarah and Alice began to tidy the store, and as Dick started to help, the necklace fell out of his coat pocket. On seeing this, the alderman asked Dick to leave immediately. Dick tried to explain that it wasn't him, but it was too late. Dick decided to leave and return to his village. His time in London had not ended well. But just outside of the city, after a day of walking, Dick decided to rest and quickly fell asleep. Fairy Bobos returned and waved her wand to cast a spell over Dick, and in his dreams, he heard the great church bells of London ringing. They seemed to say to him, "Turn back, Dick Whittington, twice Mayor of London." Dick awoke and rushed back to London to find Alice and tell her about his dream. When he finally found her at the dock, she was getting ready to board a ship with Sarah the cook to travel to a far-off land to help her father restock the store with new provisions. He tried explaining what had happened with the necklace, but Alice already knew that Dick had been framed by King Rat. After many weeks of travelling, the ship was hit by a mighty storm. Throughout the night, it was tossed and turned until eventually the old vessel could take no more and began to sink. The captain ordered everyone to abandon ship, and they all jumped into the sea and tried to swim for an island in the distance. The Sultan of the island had found Dick, Alice, Sarah and Tommy washed upon his shore and had them brought to his palace to be cared for. Whilst they had slept and recuperated, Tommy the cat had been working very hard and had managed to rid the island of its problematic rat population. The Sultan was so pleased that he offered Dick a reward and a ship so they could sail home. Dick returned to London with his friends, where the alderman promoted him to his assistant. Dick worked hard for the alderman and learned everything he could. Eventually, he married Alice and started a very successful business of his own. And yes, Dick did become Mayor of London. And they all lived happily ever after. So, have yourself a good night's sleep. Night, night. God bless. Sleep tight. And see you in the morning. Bye.